We just hit 200 subs and I can't believe it. I know that might not sound like that much to you, but it is a lot to me. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported the channel. Anyway, this is what I look like. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments below. So a few days ago, I put out a video asking you to ask me questions for a Q&A, so here I am answering those questions. Rough Vekoma Coasters asks what my home park is. My home park is Six Flags America. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away without traffic, but this is DC, so it's more like an hour and 45 minutes away. The funny thing is, though, that I didn't actually visit the park for the first time until 2019, because mainly because the reputation the park has, we always just went to Hershey Park or something like that before. But now I have a Six Flags season pass. Cooper Troutman asks what my favorite roller coaster is. My favorite roller coaster is Wild One at Six Flags America, mainly because of the history that has behind it and the fact that it's at my home park. You know, it was built in 1917, relocated in 1986, and it's had a ton of fires over there. It's just really interesting. Looking at the history of it, it's crazy. But the best roller coaster I've ridden is definitely Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. He also asked what my least favorite coaster is. My least favorite coaster is definitely Twist and Shout Family Kingdom. The whole ride just feels like you're in a car crash. It's not good. Cooper's final question is, if I can only ride one fly ride for the rest of my life, what would it be? So it'd probably have to be Radiator Springs Racers at Disney California Adventure. I haven't actually ridden it before, but like Test Track is my favorite flat ride by a mile, and Cars is one of my favorite movie franchises. I don't know if you've noticed, but the music in my intro is actually Finn McMissile's theme from Cars 2. I actually like that movie, believe it or not. Coaster Craziness has 3 questions. First, the best park I've been to. That's Cedar Point, and it's not even close. I honestly can't even fault the park. Well, actually I can, their food isn't that great. But other than that, it's amazing. He also asks for tips for growing a channel. He also asks for tips for growing a coaster channel. Now I know that I'm not like the biggest coaster YouTuber, I'm not even close, but I think I actually do have some good tips. First of all, you want to develop your own sort of brand and be consistent so people will remember you. Second of all, don't rush through things. You want your videos to be good quality, and you should definitely do quality over quantity. Finally, thumbnails are also really important, because it's the first impression that you're going to give viewers, and if you don't make a good thumbnail, they're not going to want to click on your video, and yeah, it's just that simple. Coaster Craziness' final question is, what are my favorite videos to make? My favorite videos to make are the videos where I rank coasters at a park that I've been to, mainly because they're honestly not that hard to make, and because I'm always 100% sure with my ranking. Like, when I make a list of coasters that I haven't actually been on all of them, I'm always, like, not quite sure because I'm going off of what other people have said and POVs, so it's sometimes not always fair to the coaster. Grayson Hauser asks, does Beano's eat chicken or is he vegan? Well, the answer is simple. No one likes vegans. That's a joke. It's fine if you're vegan. Mr. Color Roaster asks how many coasters I've been on. My coaster count currently sits at 77. He also asks how many parks I've been to. I've been to 13 amusement parks. His third question is, what is your favorite video that you've made? My favorite video to make was my video where I found the best coaster in each country, because I learned a lot about like international coasters, because I'm not as familiar about those as American coasters. But my best video that I think I made is my what each Six Flags park needs. I think it was pretty accurate and the editing was decent. Still not great, but pretty decent. Patrick Cadiz also has 3 questions, or I guess 4 depending on how you look at it. First, my most underrated and overrated coaster. Underrated is Vekoma SLCs. I honestly don't think that they're bad. I mean, the restraints, they're so soft that it just feels like you're bashing your head on a pillow. And the layout of the ride is great. Plus, those near misses in the front are amazing. As for overrated, probably Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point. I mean, yeah, it has good airtime at the end of the ride, but that's basically all it has. Like, the rest of the layout is just bad and it's uncomfortable. So second question is, what grade am I in? I'm in 8th grade. Patrick's final question is, first big coaster. My first big coaster was Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom. My first big non-Disney coaster was Sidewinder at Hershey Park. Coaster Cloud asks if I have any phobias or fears. I mean, I don't really mean to sound cocky, but no. I guess that you could say wild snakes because those kind of freak me out, but I love domesticated snakes. Coaster Cloud's second question is, if I could do anything to benefit the world, what would it be? I would start a foundation to help people who were injured in car accidents when they weren't at fault. Mr. Rollercoaster asks quite a few questions. First, what do you think would be the worst park in America? Out of all the major parks, probably Morey's Piers, because I've heard from multiple people that the park is pretty trashy. Plus, they don't really have any great rides, and like it's spread out across multiple areas, so it's probably pretty inconvenient. Favorite type of coaster to watch? Dive coasters. So they're just so majestic and people freak out on them, so it's just funny to watch. What's your favorite animal? I know it's basic, but I really like pandas. I mean, how could you not? They're pandas. What's the most excited I've been for park? So, believe it or not, it's actually something you might not expect. It's Six Flags America, because I lived near it my whole life and actually been there, and it was my first park visiting as an enthusiast, and like first park experiencing as an enthusiast. Favorite sport? Baseball is first, and then basketball is in a close second. I'm a fan of the Washington Nationals and Washington Wizards. What are the coolest places you've been? Not amusement parks. I mean, Niagara Falls. I mean, it's a no-brainer. St. Louis Arch, views from there are incredible. Same with the Sears Tower in Chicago. And National Mall in Washington, D.C., it's incredible. The architecture there. Logan Hall asks what I would do for a Klondike bar. I would ride a bootleg Indian carnival ride for a Klondike bar. Logan's second question is, what makes a park good? So a good park has a good coaster lineup, it's clean, it's nicely presented, it has good service, and the prices are decent. Among other things I'm not thinking about. John Steiner asks what international parks are at the top of my bucket list. Probably Energylandia, Fantasia Land, or Fantasia, whatever that one in Germany, however you pronounce it. Nagashima Spa Land, probably, and Warner Bros. Movie World in Australia. Jordan Animations asks what I think of Dorney Park. I think it's good because it's a Cedar Fair park and you can't really go wrong with Cedar Fair Park, but I think they'd be better as their identity as a family park, so it could be in contrast with Great Adventure. He also asks if it has potential. Yes, if it's marketed correctly, and every park has potential if it's run right. His final question is, where would rank with the new wooden shuttle coaster? I think that at this point it's in the same boat as Michigan's Adventure and Gilroy Gardens, but if it got the wooden shuttle coaster, it'd move up to the tier with Worlds of Fun and Valley Fair. It is a Cedar Fair park though, like I said, and all Cedar Fair parks are good parks. My homie Battle Ben asks what I edit my videos on. Well, I edit my videos, Ben, on a Dell Chromebook 113180, not the greatest device in the world. And as for video editor, it's WeVideo because it's the only thing that my Chromebook can run. Jammin's second question is, what is my favorite food? Chocolate chip pancakes. They're not healthy at all, not healthy, but like, it just tastes so good. Ben's final question is, do I even know you? That hurt. Shannon asks what my top bucket list coaster is. That is Skyrush, because I have had the chance to ride it before, and it's touted as one of the top coasters in the world, and I can't believe I passed it up. I just want to get on it so bad. Amia Johnson asks what my favorite park is. That is Cedar Point, like I said before, because, I mean, it's just the greatest place on earth. Mr. Kohler Rister asked 21 questions, so I'm going to try and speed through them. What is my favorite color combo for a coaster? I know it's basic, but I like the red and blue that like they have on Superman the ride at Six Flags New England. I mean, red and blue, it's just they go together so well. What is my favorite type of theme for a coaster? I mean, honestly, I don't really care about theming. I'm not a big fan of theming, but I do like movie theming. But the DC theming sucks. But like Universal Studios, pretty good. What's your favorite name of a coaster you've been on? Definitely Gatekeeper. I mean, just think about it. It's so accurate to what the coaster is, and it's just such a majestic name for a majestic coaster. Do you prefer airtime and inversions? Definitely airtime. What do you think will be the next coaster for Liseberg and PortAventura? I mean, I wish I could tell you, but like I'm not familiar enough with those international parks, but I'm trying to learn some more, so I don't think I could give a good answer for that. Favorite queue line? Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts at Universal Studios, definitely, because I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. Favorite ride soundtrack? Speed of Sound has a great one because just the way it syncs up with the ride, and Maverick at Cedar Point. I really like those Old West type of music. What is my favorite and least favorite SLC? Well, I've only ridden one, and that's Mind Racer at Six Flags America, and I actually really like it. It's a good ride. Like I said, they have great layouts, and I feel like the ones with vest restraints would be even better. The worst, though, is probably T3 because it has those thigh-crushing restraints. What is the most intense coaster you've been on? Probably Incredible Hulk at Universal's Islands of Adventure. It's just an insane ride. I have no idea why more people don't talk about it. I also rode it just a few months after it reopened in 2016, so it was running buttery smooth. Batwing is also really intense. It probably comes in at second place. I actually was able to bring my phone on the ride in my pocket, of course, in my zipper pocket, so it was safe, but I recorded 5.4 Gs on it. Do you prefer speed or height? Usually they come together because like when you have more speed, that means you're gonna have, or when you have more height, you're gonna have more speed. But I'd probably have to say speed because that's usually what I look for in a coaster. I don't really care about intensity as long as you make up for it with speed. What is your favorite wooden coaster? Goliath at Great America. Six Flags Great America, that is. What's your favorite alpine coaster? I've never been on an alpine coaster. I've heard that there's a really good one in Switzerland or something. And I know there's some in Tennessee. And there's one like a couple hours away from me, but I haven't been on it. Roughest coaster you've been on? Wildcat or Hershey Park? Oh man, that thing is shaky, but I still like the ride because it has some decent airtime and laterals. But the most painful coaster I've been on is Corkscrew at Cedar Point, because that restraints just basically metal bar. It's not good. Do you prefer B&M wing or dive coasters? Probably B&M dive coasters, because I don't know what it is about it, but just like dangling over that edge and then dropping, it's just such a fun sensation. And also, well, I've been on one dive coaster and two wing coasters, and Valravn is my favorite out of those three. What is your number one bucket list coaster in France? Probably Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain Rebel Mission. Then I can get Le Rat Nas Ra Rem. I'm not sure if you're going to understand that joke. But being real, I'm not going to get to France until at least I graduate college. Because, like, I have school and stuff. What is your favorite GCI? I've ridden 4 GCIs, and American Thunder is my favorite. If you want to know my ranking of them, it's American Thunder 1, Aurora 2, Lightning Racer 3, and then Wildcat 4. Do you prefer Busch Gardens Williamsburg or Tampa Bay? I have not been to either one, but I'm planning on getting to Williamsburg at some point in the next few years. But probably Tampa is the better one because it has Iron Gwazi. What is your second favorite Cedar Fair park? I think Kings Island looks like the second best one. I mean, it has everything you could want, and this year they're getting that standout coaster that they need. The final question is, what Merlin park do you want to go to the most? This is an unpopular probably opinion, but probably Thorpe Park, because they have a great ride lineup, and I'm not a massive fan of theming, and the theming isn't too over the top. Something that's kind of interesting is that when I try and learn more about European parks and like look at European parks, I often just find myself disinterested because I just find the theming to be too much. The last two questions come from North Star Coasters. First, what inspired you to do YouTube? Well, mainly other YouTube channels like Canada Coaster Fan, definitely, because I watched a lot of his videos when I was becoming an enthusiast, and Coaster Studios. I've also always wanted to make a YouTube channel because since I was little, and I always wanted to make a gaming channel, but I know that if I made one of those, it would never go anywhere. So I had to choose a more unique topic, and coasters was just the first perfect topic. First perfect. What am I saying? Anyway, the final question of the video is Cedar Fair or Six Flags? That's a really good question. Most people would say Cedar Fair, but I'm actually going to choose Six Flags because they actually invest into their smaller parks and don't neglect them like Cedar Fair does. Thanks for watching this video. Remember to leave your thoughts, suggestions, video ideas in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later.